Hello loves, and welcome back to Life with Chekesha. It is your girl, and in today's video I am going to show you how I have made my 2022 vision board using Canva. So if you want to see how I did it, keep watching. So before we get into today's video, again, if you are a returning subscriber, thank you for coming back and rocking with your girl. You already know I appreciate it so much. And if you are a new subscriber, or if you've popped in and out and you haven't really been here a lot or been here long, do me a favor and drop a purple heart in the comments box. That way I know that you're new to the channel. And as well, go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell. Alright, so today's video was highly requested after I showed how I set up my Hobonichi. After I showed how I set up my Hobonichi Weeks planner and showed how I had a vision board inside of my planner, a lot of you guys were interested in how I made that. So in today's video, I am going to be using the popular app Canva, and you can use that on your device or on your desktop or laptop. And I'm going to show you on my laptop how I created it, but it's pretty much the same way on all of your devices. It's just that the tools to move things around are a lot easier if you're using a laptop or a desktop, in my opinion. And that's pretty much where I always go to make my more detailed things, whether it be a dashboard, a vision board. When there's a lot more details, I always go to my laptop. Things that are super easy, where all I have to do is just upload a picture, put a few words, then I'll do that on my phone. But I try to make it as easy as possible, because a lot of times when things are a little bit complicated, you tend to want to give up and not do it. So I highly recommend, if you are using Canva for your more detailed projects, do it on a desktop or a laptop. Alright, so the vision board that I'm creating, you can use it in multiple ways. You can put it on your phone's wallpaper, on your desktop, on your computer, or you can print it off to put it in your planners, or even if you have, you know, big enough paper, you can make a poster board size and put it up in your house. So what I have done, I actually have it on my phone's screen, so I can see it all the time, and I'll put an image of my phone somewhere up on the screen so you can see it. I have one in my Hobonichi planner because that goes with me every day, and then I have one in my catch-all that stays home. And I know you're probably saying, well, why do you have so many of it? Because it's my vision and I want to see it every day. In order for me to manifest it and know that I'm working hard towards reaching those goals that I put on my vision board, I want to see it all the time. Hence the word vision board. You want it to be visually seen at all times. So the way that I'm going to do the tutorial, I'm going to screen record myself doing all of the things to create it on my laptop, and I'm going to do a voiceover. And through that voiceover, I will, let you know that some of the features that I use are only if you have the paid subscription, in which I do have a link in my description box. It's a referral code that you can click on so you can get the paid version. I highly recommend it. Whether you are a content creator or whether you just like to create, fancy, pretty cute posts to put on your stories or your Instagram feed, I think it is an investment that we should make. Especially, if you're anything like me, as soon as you see something on Instagram, you're going to buy it anyway. So why not buy something that's going to be beneficial? So anyway, before I get into the tutorial, as you're watching it, if you have any questions, don't wait until the end. Just drop your questions in the comments. And let me know what part that you have a question on. That way I can answer it for you instead of waiting to the end, because sometimes you get to the end and you forget. But if you want to rewatch it, I'm fine with that. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into this tutorial so you can go ahead and get your vision board ready for 2022. All right, love, so let's jump right in. So this is the home page of the Pro version. I have the paid version of it, so if you have the free version, some of these features may not be available. But this is just shows everything that's on the home screen, all the tools that you have available, folders that you can create on the side. But I may do a more detailed video about what Canva has to offer at a later date. So the templates is what you would use if you want to have something that's already formatted, and you can do that by either clicking on templates, or you can type into the box where it says what will you design. So it has some presets already there, or you can just type in. So the vision board that I have on my phone, I use the wallpaper for the phone, so the sizes will be exactly right, because I don't know the size of my phone screen. So you would just go here and it'll give you a blank one, and then it'll give you some templates that already have some designs and have some backgrounds, but you can pick whichever you want to if you're doing a digital vision board to put on your phone or even on your computer desktop. And again, you just type in desktop wallpaper and it'll give you the size for the desktop. But today we're going to be doing a custom one, and again, this comes with the paid version, and I'm going to make one to put in my mini HP planner. And what you want to always do is convert it to inches, not unless you know those dimensions, but for the mini HP is 4.6 by 7, and then I create it and it gives me a blank canvas on the main screen to the right. And so on the left you have some preset templates. It always starts you off with preset templates, and you can pick from any one of these. You don't have to pick the first one. You can scroll, you can type in what type of image you're looking for, but I'm gonna just go ahead and use this first one because this is kind of like one of my favorite colors. Now this is actually like a video template, so I'm just going in and converting it to just a image. So I'm turning off the animations, and basically what that means is just the icons and the elements on the screen will move if you download as a video format. So this little section here is again just something that was already preset on this template, and I'm going to use what's already on here just to make it easier. And I'm going to go in here and just click the box where it has the fonts, and I'm going to write 2022 vision board. You don't have to use that. You can delete it and write whatever you want. You don't have to use all the elements that's on the screen, but again, just to make this easier and more self-explanatory, I'm going to use everything that's on here. So the images that they have, it already has photos, but if you want to bring in your own photos, you would just upload them here. Now I already have photos in my upload section because I use this all the time, but if it was a picture that I wanted, I would just hit upload, go to my file on my desktop, or if you're on your phone, it'll automatically go to your phone's photo gallery, and you would just pick the photo or the videos that you would like to upload. But because we're doing still shots, we're going to go ahead and stick with photos. And I'm going to go back to my images, grab a picture, and I'm just going to go ahead and drag it. Now, when you want to be careful when you're dragging it, if any area is blue, it's going to fill that blue area. And I'll go back to that later. So with the paid version, you can remove the background, and I don't want this white box around my photo. I want me to be just centered with no obstructions, so I choose to remove the background. Now the key with the remove the background, if it's got a lot of busy dark spots, it may not work, so you might have to adjust your color and saturation on your photo before you do that. So now I'm just kind of sizing it up, and then that bottom button where it has the line, you can make that screen bigger or smaller or however you want it. So now I want to use this box to start putting the things that I want on my vision board, and I'm going to just go ahead and start with self-care, and I'm just going to type that in, and it'll pull up all types of pictures. Now you want to make sure that the area where you are going to drag and drop is blue. And as you can see, it dropped right into that pre-filled area. And now I'm just kind of using the tools to put it how I want it. Canva is very user friendly. It's not as hard as we think. So I'm just making a duplicate of this, and as you can see, I just hit the 3 dots to give me more options, because I want to be able to use this same template to put another photo in there. And again, I'm just showing you how I work with this, and I'm going to set this back because it's covering my head. And you can always right click on an image and it'll give you more tools to use to fix the photo. So now what I'm going to do is to label this self-care with text. And again, you don't have to do this, but I'm showing you how I did my vision board. So everything is going to be done based on how I did my digital as well as my printable vision board. So I'm going to go ahead and change the font. And with the free version, some fonts aren't available, but again, with the paid version, you get a variety of fonts, as well as any fonts that you've downloaded to your computer. You can also put them on your canvas so it can use those fonts as well. So I'm just, kind of placing it where I want to. And now we're going to go ahead and start with the next one. So this is where I was saying you can go online and search for images. So we're going to search for the car that I have on my vision board right now, which is the Audi Q5. And you want to go click on the image so you can find the exact one you want, because you want your vision board to be exactly what you want to manifest. So you right click on the image. If it's downloadable, it'll say save, and I'm just going to save it to my folder so I can easily upload it on Canva. So we're going to go ahead and close this screen out. And I'm going to go ahead and click on uploads, and this is where you would upload any images that's not already in your files. And as you can see, it's loading with that blue. And so now what I'm going to do is drag and drop. And once I do that, again, make sure that that area is blue. Now, because this image, the dimensions are not square, they're more rectangular, they don't fit. So what I do before I change it, I hit the crop button to see if I'm able to crop it. If not, I have to do something different. So we're gonna go ahead and add the car again. And I'm going to remove the background because, again, I don't like that bold white there. And you'll see later in the video, I'm going to change it again because I just didn't like that. That was going to be the only image that didn't have like a frame behind it. And I'm going to flip it. As you can see, you can flip it around and change how it's angled. And another trick is if there's elements that you want to use but they're in your way, just slide them, but make sure they still show on the screen. So again, I'm making a duplicate of that font so I can write the name of the car that I'm putting on my vision board. And the one thing about Canva is it has a lot of functions. You can make your vision board a movie if you want to. Like, it doesn't have to be just a still photo. So while I'm adjusting that, just a couple of things. I do have a link in the description box where you can get the paid version of Canva. I highly recommend it, especially if you use it as much as I do. It's just like, you invest in what you invest in, and this is something good to have. So now we're going to go ahead and just do another image. So we're just going to do debt free. Well, no, I'm going to actually do luxury house on this one, and I'm going to use this image right here to the right because it looks so beautiful. And making sure, I don't know what I'm doing right here. I don't know where I'm moving my image, but we drop it right here. I'm going to make a duplicate copy of that font so I can write luxury home. Now, the reason why I put myself in the center, one of my YouTube friends, she pointed out a good point. When you're making a vision board, is for you. So you want to be the center of that vision, so everything that you want is attracted directly to you. And I thought that was an amazing idea. So that's why I am putting a photo of myself on here and then making sure it's always front and center. It's never overlapped by another image. So again, as you are working on it, you can make your adjustments, move things around, that looks good to you. What looks good to me may not look good to you. But again, you adjust things how you want to adjust them so they can look right for your eyes, so you know exactly where you want to look when you look at the vision board. You can put them in the order that you want to have those visions come to fruition. It's all up to you. So now I'm going to just do one more of the drag and drops, and we're going to do the debt-free one is here, as I stated earlier. And again, you want to make sure the box that you're going to drop it in is highlighted with that blue. If you don't, you're going to have to keep fooling with it until you do it. So again, duplicating the fonts, because I like to keep the same fonts when I am creating my layouts and my templates on Canva, just to have it streamlined exactly the way I want it to be streamlined. So adjusting the size and adjusting the angle that the font is on. And it doesn't have to be in the photo. You can put it on top of the photo. You can do whatever you want. It's your vision board. But it's just good to find ways to be able to have different types of vision boards. So another trick is, if you want to use the elements that are already on here, because they're grouped together, you're going to have to ungroup them, and what you saw I did, and then you just move it where you want it. And because this is overlaying over my vision, I'm going to right click and set it back. Setting it back sets it behind that first layer. If you do backwards, it's going to be behind and you're not going to see it at all. And so I want to grab that white, so I just tap with my arrow on that white. I hit the duplicate button, and then I move it where I want to. And then once it's adjusted, again, you're going to see where it's going to overlap the image. I'm just going to right click and hit back again so it can go behind that image. So now I'm just going to move things around, just try to structure it just again so it can look aesthetically pleasing to my eye. Once you kind of get it going, you just, start fooling around, making your adjustments. Now, I decided that I did want to have a frame around the car, so I ungrouped that top photo and I took the backing of the frame so I can make it in a rectangular shape to fit the car, because I didn't want the car to be any smaller, because then it would have just, I don't know, it just didn't look right. So as you can see, the box is covering it, so I'm going to have to bring the image to the front. I hit forward by accident, but you want to do the front. And then I'm going to go ahead and move it around to get it to the right placing where I want it. And I'm going to also have to change the font. And the font, you can't see it because it's hidden behind all the layers. But once you click, it'll still recognize where it's at. And I decided to also add this little piece of sticky tape or washi, like a little washi strip, just because the white frame doesn't have any backing to it like the other ones do. There's no background, and I wanted to be able to show up and make it look like it's a part of the whole layout. So once I do all of that, I'm going to move everything around how I want it before I actually just download it and save it. And I'm going to show you a couple of ways how to do that. So checking again, moving stuff around, making sure it's how I want it. Listen, your girl be trying to be extra sometimes. So this is where you want to go. So you want to hit the download button. And if you're going to download it as an image only, you want to do the PNG, and you want to set the size at a 2, because that'll give it the best quality. And then you want to make sure there's no other pages. I don't know why that extra page was on there, so I'm going to delete it because it's going to download all the pages and I don't need to do that. So I'm going to go ahead and download it, and it's going to save to my folders. If you're using your phone or your iPad or a tablet, it's going to save to your photo gallery, and you would just go there. And if you're going to do a digital, you would just open up the image, save as wallpaper, or however you want to do that. If you want to save it to your desktop on your computer, you would do the same thing. Just open it up and save it to your desktop. So the other way we're going to do it is if you were to be printing it and putting it in your planner. Because I have this sized exactly for a mini HP, I'm going to go to the PDF print. And again, that's only if you have a paid function, and I'm going to add the crop marks. That way it's going to show me exactly where I need to cut it. I'm going to save it, and then the image is going to appear, and you will just print it, cut it where the crop marks are. As you can see, I'm making it bigger so you can see it, and it's going to have all that white space off around it, and it's going to fit perfectly in your planner. And another thing, you want to always make sure that you have actual size. If not, it's not going to print for the size of your planner. So this is how I created the printable, and this is almost pretty much the same way as I do my dashboards as well. All right, love, so I hope you enjoyed that tutorial. I hope that I explained everything in full detail to make it easy for you. I apologize that I got it so late in the month. However, listen, it's so easy. You can get it done before January 1 hits, and that's like in a couple of days, right? So anyway, so I hope this video was helpful. Again, any questions that you have, let me know in the comments. And as well, if this video hasn't done anything else, it should have convinced you to go ahead and get that subscription. You know, if you're a planner babe like me, I got a whole lot of subscriptions that I don't even use. That's why I had to cancel them. But this is $12 and I think like 95 cents a month. Do the math on a lot of other things that you spend $13 on that you can't reuse over and over and over again. And this is great as well. Like if you want to create greeting cards for family, wedding invitations, you know, you can even create a landing page for a website on this app. Like you can do so much. So $13 gives you access to so much. I'm not sponsored by Canva. They're not paying me. I just have been using Canva for over 10 years and I love it. It's the best $13 that I spend for all of my businesses. And if you do have a business, you can include it as a write-off. Okay? So anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, make sure you do me a big favor and give me a big old thumbs up. And as well, if you have not already done so, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that subscribe button and that notification bell so you never miss any of my videos. So until next time, loves, peace.